And just like that, another Wednesday live stream hath begun. We haven't had, we've been doing every other Wednesday, but I hope to get back to every Wednesday. Hi, Rory. I am doing well. Good evening to you. It is still morning here in California. It's a little cloudy today. It's supposed to be starting to warm up again. So tell me about your personal life decision. Don't keep me all. Hi, Science. How you doing? We got some stuff to talk about today. I got the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller. I got Diet Coke. We got Rory and Science. That's pretty much all we need, the three of us, to have a good old time. A lot of stuff to talk about, so I'm pretty excited about today's stream. By the way, if you're here for the first time, and you might be watching it for the first time on the VODs, all my streams are very similar. We're going to be playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. Really? I've left the Catholic Church, moving to a Christian church. Okay. Which is a big deal in South Africa among you, I think, in your community. So interesting. I don't know the details of that, but it sounds like I hope it's a positive move for you. I personally am not familiar with either of those religions. I am kind of familiar with being a Jewish person since I was raised Jewish and all, but I'm not a religious person. I haven't been for decades. The second half of the stream, I think today we're going to bring the piano in. I feel like playing the piano today. So there will be a musical stream later on. But in the meantime, we're going to start up. I got my 2024 booted up. Why 2024, you say? Well, I was watching, can't reveal. Well, that's fine. You, of course, don't have to reveal and shouldn't reveal online in effectively a public community anything that you feel is not public information. That's always. I know you're a young person, but it's a good thing to. So it's a good thing to tell you if you haven't been on since you haven't been online for decades like we have. First of all, to be very skeptical of information you read online. We'll talk about that later. And secondly, be very skimpy with personally identifiable information that can identify you. Unless, the kind of once you start being a streamer, you have to have a public persona. People kind of know where I live, things like that. But if you're just in the chatting, you should be very, very, yeah, that's probably a good idea. We don't have to, just wait until you're comfortable that other people could know. Because you know what I mean? We don't know who's actually on this Twitch chat. I mean, I don't monitor my Twitch numbers or my YouTube numbers or could see stuff later or whatever. That's the point. You should always treat it like a public place. All right. So what's the idea? Because I was watching AV Angel, who's a YouTube streamer that I follow a lot. AV Angel on YouTube, if you don't know her, she's great. And she had downloaded, she was doing Papua New Guinea, we call PNG bush flying. And she had downloaded some sets of data. It's a long story, which is good thing I have plenty of time. PNG bush flying is always a vibe. And where is it even? In fact, I'm going to have to do a search for this. Shoot, what is the actual... Hold on one second here. Hold on. Okay, it's AYLK. So can I search for AYLK? Yeah. Where is that? There it is. See, I wouldn't know offhand. But, okay. So the ones we're interested in that I recently downloaded is Coda, Tapini. We've landed these before, but in 2024. Where's Tapini? Tapini is it one of these? Well, I'll look it up. Hold on a second. So that's one. One of them's here. Waitapi is here. That's the other one. And Tapini, that's AYGF. No, AYTI. Here's Tapini. All right, so the three airports that we're going to try to do some bush flying from are these three here. Kokoda, which we're going to take off from. It's kind of the most... We're going to try to do a landing. We're going to do flyover. It's beautiful. To northwest to Waitapi. It's a 20. These are very spectacular, and hopefully we'll be able to see some things. Now it's 7 p.m. there. We're gonna back it up to like daytime. There we go. Like morning. All right, now we got to pick a plane, and this has to be a good plane for bush flying. And I was thinking right away, I don't know. She was flying. This is AV Angel I'm talking about. A very difficult plane for bush flying. A 2-engine turboprop like the DA-62. Not she wasn't doing the DA-60. She has a plane I don't have, which is fine, but I don't want to make it that hard. So I think a good plane for these short takeoff and landings is going to be the Optica. Let's configure that out. And it's a 2024 plane, so we know it works. No, identification is wrong. Got to fix that. I thought I'd fix this already, but maybe there was an update. 939. Okay, livery comes in some different paints. Cascade, Nebula, Solaris. Vortex. I like the sound of that. Okay. Save and back. And we're going to get in the air, and then we're going to do an episode of Science News in the News, which I think might be interesting. Also, there was a new tweet from Twitch about enforcement of Twitch breaches of of terms of service, which we might look into. But I personally don't think I've ever had any. All right, so we're in the Aerovira Optica. We're going to start from here. We're going to head north. And then north, we're going to make a landing. We're going to check things out, and then we're going to take off and land again if everything goes right. If not, things won't. All right, set as departure. Parking 1. Duolingo bird. I'm not sure I know what that is. The Cub Crafter would be easy to fly. It just bores me. You know what I mean? I gotta get something that gets my blood flowing. But the great thing about the Edgeley here is that it has those huge windows and an autopilot, which not all those the Cub Crafter does not. I believe doesn't have. We might need the autopilot for when I want to sit and talk about my science news in the news later. All right, so here we are. Yes, this is a 2024 upgrade to this airport here. We'll get out and walk around a little bit. I think the cat wants out. Give it a second to do things. But yeah, this looks good. It looks good. It looks like a beautiful day to fly. We're outside our beautiful Aerovira Edgeley Optica. I think we got to like pull the chocks off and stuff. Right? No, not left tire. Can I pull the chocks off? I guess I can't. Not from there. Oh, I think I have to do it from here. Or maybe you do it from here. This might be a problem. We got to pull the... There's some things we got to pull off before we can get anywhere. That might be a little tricky. Oof. Hopefully I can do this. Right? I think it's the mouse that makes that easier. Okay, so that's off. There's no engine cover. But this, I think we have to do. What if I do this like that? No. We're not going anywhere if we don't get these chocks off. But it's not, see, it's not really doing anything. Can I inspire? Do I can do an examine? Examine. Oof, we might have to result to the cheat. That's a problem. Let me see if I can do it from back here. There are really great things. This is 2024, so if you don't get the chalks off, you aren't going anywhere. And it's not even giving me it's not even showing the chalk, unfortunately. So it means it's bugged out. You can, I can do all the stuff I need to do. It's all fine, except remove the chalks. And the plane is literally locked in place. It's how the game is programmed. So we're not going very far. What I can do is restart on the runway, so we don't waste our time. But see, it's not even showing. I can look at both tires. I can look at the right tire. Look at the right suspension. No problem. But it doesn't even show I can look at the strut. But it doesn't even show the chalk. It shows the tire. And there's that thing there. And to see it there just spinning like that, it should show chalk. All right, so that's not going to work. I think it's because we're sitting on grass or something. The grass does look really good. Wait, yeah. There's a nose gear tire we can examine. Doesn't matter. We can't remove the chalk. Oh, excuse me a second, please. Hey, Kate, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, how you doing? I got you. You wanted to go outside? My door is real sticky. All right, so this isn't going anywhere. We're gonna go back to the main menu. It won't take too long. Trust me about this one. It was bugged out. It may also have something to do with the fact that I have a downloaded component in this area, but it was bugged out. So let's start over again. We're probably gonna have to do that search again. Wow, didn't even remember where we were. This game is so bugged. This is why I haven't been playing 2023 very much. Okay, we're starting from Kokoda, which is AYLK. So frustrating. How we're gonna fix it is starting from the runway, not from the grass. I would like to be able to cold start the plane, but not being able to remove the chalks means you're not going anywhere. You could cold start it all you want. We could waste 20 minutes, trying to go over the chalks. The game is programmed to not let you go over chalks. And there's no other way to remove them. There's no little button you can press, which you have in 2020. It's one of the many real nasty frustrations that people have about this game, this version. Hey, they're supposed to release 2024 Update 1 at the end of February. Maybe they'll have solved all these idiotic issues that piss people off and make it almost impossible to do anything in the game. Like, without running into some issue. All right, so now we're in a running plane that does not have wheel chocks on it. Isn't that great? Meanwhile, we didn't get a chance to really see the airport. But, maybe we can do that now. So we can get out of the plane, right? I can always walk over. You see, there's no wheel chocks now, so we can move. We'll get back in. We'll fly over. We'll do a flyover. All right. So let's see. The plane is operating in this mode. It is started up. We can let's see, mixture is there. That's all good. We can bring up the radio. Okay, announce takeoff. We're heading northwest.
Alpha Yankee Lima, Kilo traffic.
Okay, do we need, flaps are set. Let's just see if this plane wants to move. Wouldn't surprise me. It's not going anywhere. I don't have pause on, do I? I don't. Yeah, it's dead. Oh, wait a minute. Parking brake. No, it's not dead. Got it. I guess the parking brake is pretty strong. Most planes will take you off anyway. All right, let's fly around. Hello, there's the airport, though. All right. At least, again, it's 2024, so the planes do work like they're supposed to. If it's a 2024 plane, we're going to buzz this little aircraft here, and then we'll head northwest to this other airport, and we'll do some talking. So let's see what else is going on. So I'm pretty excited. As I was talking with Rory, you should always be skeptical about what you hear on the internet. Looks like there's some stuff there. There's some stuff here. Okay, so that's the little airport. All right, we'll fly over. All right, let's head northwest. Northwest. That's this direction. We got plenty of fuel. All right, let's talk about the Edgeley Optica a little bit. It's not a pressurized airplane. We're going to have to get some significant altitude to get over these mountains here. But we can do it. But again, handy to just fly around in. Let's take a look at our instruments. And again, so much glass. So much just look, you can look down. It's designed for being a sightseeing plane. And we always like it. We want to do some sightseeing. Anyway, there's 3 airports we're going to go. That's the first one. The second one hopefully we'll land when we'll check out what's on the ground a little bit more. And then we're going to take off again. All right, I'm going to adjust my mixture. Down to there. Don't want to waste gas. Let's see. This one is the one that has the working fuel dump system. Okay, autopilot is there. Where's our directional bug? There. So we can set our directional bug to there. Wait, let's see. Oh yeah, we want to head like this way. All right, north. Yeah, a little more this way, I think. I don't think that's the other airport in the distance there, because I know it's kind of high up. Okay, so we're at 2,700 feet, and I believe these airports at about 5,000 feet. So I know we're going to have to do some continual ascending. You know, I like to stay low to the ground. But for this segment... Yeah, let's just head this direction here. All right, autopilot on, heading select, and altitude hold mode. Let's see if we're stable. Perfect. Alrighty, look at that. We're flying around in 2024. It's a vibe. Papua New Guinea bush flying. So it's not like there's a lot of like buildings. So it's not. So we get a high frame rate. Speaking of frame rates, though, I did order a CyberPower PC. The current PC I'm using is a CyberPower PC that I pre-ordered, or that I custom ordered to my specifications in 2020. It's 2025 now, so it's time for a new one. It takes them a while, you know. It takes them a while. The thing about, I looked at all the configurators that will do custom PCs where you order the pieces you want, the case you want, power supply you want, or online, and all of the other ones that are well known are kind of a generation behind CyberPower PC. In other words, they're still offering the 14K series of the Intels for the i7s, and which is last year's model. And CyberPower PC is the only one that has the newer motherboards and the newer Intel 265 or whatever it is. They have a new naming scheme for this year. Let's get some altitude programmed into the. Hold on a second here. Okay, hold on a second. There we go. What do we got here? That's all good. Oh yeah, up here, it's all good. Yeah, here we go. Altitude. Okay, so we're gonna program an altitude. Yeah, it's altitude select. So program an altitude of 5,000 feet, 5,000 feet, and go up. And we're gonna turn vertical speed on, right? I have to turn altitude hold mode. There we go. All right, 500 feet per minute. There we go. Perfect. So we're at 3,000 feet, and we're going to be heading 5,000 feet per minute to 500 feet per minute to 5,000 feet. It's nice you can kind of program that in. Let's see. Checking the speed. Everything looks good. All right, what are all my buttons here doing? We got panel lights, taxi lights, landing lights you don't need, strobe lights, navigation lights. That's the fuel pump, only for takeoff. Generator and battery is on. What's this here? ELT. It's a test thing. This is your transponder. Is it on? It's on. That's your Garmin for. So marker audio, and then this is basically all your instruments are going to be here. Just checking everything. Looks nice. Plenty of fuel in the tanks. So what is that in the distance? I got to figure it out. Can I see it? Yeah, that's not where we're heading. I mean, it's generally in the area, but we're heading up there, I think. Let me just see if I can figure out from here if it's going to show what I'm looking for. That's AYAZ, which is a Simba. Yeah, that's not what we're looking for. It's going to be on the map here. It's a little further out. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So AYQQ is is Onononge. That's also not what we're looking for. We're looking for this one here. AYWT and OP. All right, so it's going to be a bit of a flight. Waitape, I don't know. All right, so that is going to be... Yeah, we're going to start making a turn. We want to get up into the ridge here. So we'll set our heading bug to the left. Since we're gaining altitude, we should be able to get over this ridge up ahead here. Yeah, okay, so we're basically heading there. I'm just kind of topologically looking at what the best route. We'll be able to come over this ridge here, and then there's a valley that we'll be going over. Then we're going to hit this. It should be pretty. All right, it's a beautiful day here. Oh, by the way, that always reminds me. Did I remember to turn weather off? Or I mean, did it turn itself back on? Which it does. It says live. Wait a minute. Is that live weather on or off? No, that was live weather off. Oops. Let's see what live weather will get, and what we have is a much more realistic natural clouds. I'm sorry I didn't check that earlier. Hey, in 2020, it remembers that setting for you, and I know I had it on live. Well, I don't remember actually. I can't guarantee that. I don't want to complain. All right, we're at 4,500 feet, climbing to 9,000 to 5,000. Check, come on, Mr. All right, let's start talking. I've got some really interesting subjects to talk about today. I don't know if anybody's here, but man, there is some huge science news in the news. I mean, massive science news in the news. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it's called related to the Microsoft's Majorana 1 chip announcement today, which is very big, really incredible. Okay, we're still here. I'm glad you appreciate it. Have you checked this out? Look it up. It's under. I mean, you can find it on Bing News. Microsoft Majorana, Magarana 1 chip announcement, and there was so much stuff in there. I had to do a whole bunch of research because it set off my bullshit meter, and it set it off in a big way, and it's still kind of set off. I'm just trying to make sure we don't run into any of these clouds. We're at 5,000 feet. We're not going to hit and get over there. Let's go up to 6,000 feet. All right, so hold on a second here. So, and then I just saw it was on Twitter. Well, hold on a second here. And let's go to 6,000 feet. That's 10,000 feet. 7,000 feet, fine. Okay. Okay, 700 feet per minute. All right, we should be able to get over this ridge. We'll find out. Yeah, the quantum computing chip that uses a new form of matter called a Majorana particle. It's powered by a new topological core architecture that it expects will realize quantum computers capable of solving meaningful industrial scale problems in years, not decades. We're going to go over this thing here. Pretty major claim. Making a right turn here. It leverages the world's first topoconductor. Never heard that word before. A breakthrough type of material which can observe and control Majorana particles. Hadn't heard of them before. To produce more reliable and scalable qubits. Hadn't heard of them before. Which are the building blocks for quantum computers. I'm aware of that. In the same way that the invention of semiconductors made today's smartphones, computers, and electronics possible, that is true. Topoconductors and the new type of chip they enable offer a path to developing quantum systems that can scale to millions qubits and are capable of tackling the most complex industrial and societal problems. Wow, that's a claim. Even science doesn't claim to be able to. That's one thing. But even does good science claim to be able to solve society's problems? It does not. Ever. Microsoft said. We took a step back and said, let's invent a transistor for the quantum age. That is huge. What's going on here? What's going on here? Why are we dying? All right, autopilot off. Unfortunately, we're in 2024. It's just gonna put us back in the air. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. Oh, also, well, I guess we're just too high up. I got full power here, but I don't think we'll make it over this hill here. We might be too high up for this plane to operate successfully. Yeah, I think so. Because yeah, look at that. If I can get it turned around, maybe we'll get it going downhill again. But we might have to crash a few more times. Yeah, give me a second here. See, this time will be fine. All right. I think we're operating at the limit of this plane's altitude, like 6,000 feet. It's fine. We're back on track. Yeah, it would be outside. So I'm already like, my bullshit meter is going crazy because the claims in this article are insane. Insane. So I took a look. This new architecture is used to develop the Majorana 1 processor, offers a clear path to fit 1 million qubits on a single chip that can fit in the palm of one hand. Well, that doesn't matter. The quantum computers don't need to be big. I get it. We're just going to fly at full power for the whole rest of this little section down here. Right? This is it. It's up ahead. It's not that far. But the question is, what the hell is a Majorana particle? Is it even a thing? Because I'd never heard it before, so I did some independent research, and there's not a lot on it. You can go on to Bing, Microsoft's. I did some research that says, what's a Majorana particle? You can look it up for yourself. Well, Majorana particle is a kind of a fermion. Okay, I hope you know what a fermion is, science. That is its own antiparticle. It's based on a piece of mathematics. That's what's called the fermion equation. But it's a variation of it that this Italian scientist named Majorana came up with that theoretically predicts a particle that it's its own antiparticle. So what does that imply? It means if you've got two of these particles and they touch each other and they're the same particle, they will annihilate and produce the energy in the famous Einstein equation equal to E equals mc squared. That's what annihilation means, particular annihilation. My trim's off. Let me fix my trim here. That's why I'm fighting. Oh, we'll get it here. Hold on. Almost got the wings off. There we go. Perfecto. All right, it's flying again. Sorta. Crazy stuff. There's more in this article. We're going to get into it. But again, the first thing is saying, oh yeah, we're going to solve society's problems with this quantum computing chip. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we have actually worked on a path to 1 million. I don't even know what that means. A topoconductor, or a topological superconductor, is a special category of material that can create an entirely new state of matter. Not a solid, liquid, or a gas, but a topological state. Problems. Topological state is a real thing, but not... It's a mathematical construct. It's sort of like saying I used calculus to envision the shape of the perfect suspension bridge. Yeah, but the calculus just told you what the shape was. It wasn't the thing itself. You can't make something out of a mathematical construct that easily. You can use a mathematical construct to help you make something else, but it can't be made out of a mathematical construct. Well, this is a way outside. Geez, what am I, 7,000 feet? We'll get there. Just barely. I'm at full speed. We got plenty of gas. We're kind of heavy. Yeah, 7,000 is kind of the limit of the. I mean, it's not a pressurized airplane, so it'd be a little uncomfortable. We'll be fine. We're gonna make it. Okay. It's a blah, blah, blah. So a new state of matter is encapsulated in this chip, and they're going to make millions of these particles, which, if any two of them touch each other, will annihilate each other. But hey, that may not be a problem because they may not have any mass to speak of. Oh, and also if you look up if you look up these particles, these Majorana particles, and at first they thought it was Majora's Mask, you know, the video game. These Majorana particles, look it up yourself. They can't carry an electric charge either, so you can't detect them electrically, and they must have practically no mass, or it would be, or you have. And the only way to make one is to make two of them and then separate them. By the way, that's true of any particle in nature. By the way, you may, if you want to create a particle out of nothing, which you have to because these particles don't exist in nature. You make two of them, the particle and its antiparticle, if it's a fermion. And you can look up vacuum energy. That occurs in space, where there's energy, but vacuum, no actual matter. Matter can spontaneously appear. It's interesting. It's called vacuum energy. And it's because a particle and its antiparticle are created. Usually they smash back into each other and become energy again. But sometimes they don't. In that case, you get an actual mass coming out of a place where there was nothing before. It's interesting. But this is not that. Major antiparticles annihilate themselves. They don't need to make an antiparticle. So how could you, so you can't make one? In other words, they're so mathematically suspect. Oh, this breakthrough required in developing an entirely new material stack made up of indium arsenide and aluminum, which Microsoft designed and fabricated atom by atom. Oh, that must have been a fun one, you know, using really tiny little tweezers. The goal was to coax new quantum particles called Majoranas into existence and take advantage of their unique properties, meaning that they don't actually exist, to reach the next horizon of quantum computing. If that doesn't set off your bullshit detector, you have a very, very unsensitive bullshit detector. But here's where it starts getting extra interesting. Error resistance, commercially important applications will require trillions of operations on 1 million qubits, blah, 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 which would be prohibited with current approaches, blah, blah, blah. But no, we can do it now. This process validates Microsoft's choices years ago to pursue a topological qubit design, a high-risk, high-reward scientific and engineering challenge that is now paying off. Today, the company has placed 8 topological qubits on a chip designed to scale to 1 million. So in other words, not very much. It does sound like, but here's where it starts getting really like, oh yeah, I think I see what's going on here. Blah 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 blah. We knew we had scale. That approach. They're talking about how they have a quote from Matthias Troyer, a Microsoft technical fellow. A fellow, hey fellow. That approach led the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, also known as DARPA, a federal agency that invests in breakthrough technologies that are important to national security, and to include Microsoft in a rigorous program to evaluate whether innovative quantum blah blah. In other words, our tax dollars paid for it. I think it's both bullshit and tax dollar paid for bullshit. Why? In other words, who are? First of all, it sounds like bullshit, but who are you ripping? Because I've heard about weird chips that don't do stuff. You know, that do weird shit for years, like the all sorts of quantum one chips and things like that. It's a very common scam. How is this airport? Can we see the runway here? Oh, come on, please. Because it's really hard to. I think it's. Yeah, it's that way. All right. We got to land uphill too. All right. Okay. Are we off the? Is our autopilot off? Yeah, it is. Off. I wanted it off. Okay, we're flying. Good. All right, let's just try to fly this thing. So we're going to come in there, I think, and then land, come in through this little gully here. All right, so at least we don't need full power anymore. I don't know about this. Anyway, so in other words, the question is, who are they ripping off? Is it investors? Because they're not going to be able, if it's a fake product, they can never actually ship it to independent researchers. But they sure can't charge a lot of money to the taxpayers, maybe hundreds of millions. I don't know how much money we spend. They don't say here. Microsoft is now one of 2 companies to be invited to move to the final phase of DARPA's, check the name of this out, Underexplored Systems for Utility Scale Quantum Computing, or the US2QC program. It sounds like something out of like a Half-Life style video game. The anomalous materials division of the advanced, which this is literally. I don't know how familiar you are with Half-Life, but the anomalous materials division is very important. Comes in very important. Anyway, if I'm a good pilot, we're going to land here, and I don't think I am. But hey. All right, this is what it looks like from here. That's where we're going to land on this little tiny strip over there. All right, let's start reducing our engine manners things over here. And here's, okay, so here's, after explaining that this is in fact a government-paid taxpayer boondoggle, project, the quote is, this is a Microsoft article on the Microsoft News website. Quote, single quote, "It just gives you the answer," end quote. What? It just gives you the answer. It doesn't need programming? What? That sounds like bullshit on top of bullshit. That's a bullshit sundae. It's bullshit. You got some bullshit ice cream. You pile on some bullshit hot fudge on top of that, and that's just the bullshit nuts on top of the rest of the bullshit to me. To me, hey, it could all be real. If it's all real, everybody involved is getting a fucking Nobel Prize, and that's gonna be a lot of Nobel Prizes being handed out. You know what I mean? Because this is really wacky stuff. Is this where I wanted to land, young guy? I don't know. We'll find out. This may not be the right place. Let's go to full flaps. But man, my bullshit detector, I only need 3 things. One is it's going to solve societal's problems. The second, it's a new state of matter, but it's based on a mathematical construct. I think this is an airport. And that third thing is what I just said there. And that is taxpayer funded. All right, I'm a good bush pilot. Stop. Don't be in denial. All right, was there anything to see here? Probably not. Probably not. Oops, I'm going backwards. I want to go forwards. Can I go forwards? I'm going way uphill. This is not a very... Okay, there we go. No more. Yeah, you can really tell when you're on the grass because you get very... You can't really move very well. Hey, Pilgrim, how you doing? Yeah, I don't think this was one of the airports I was looking for. Hold on a second. Let's check this out here. Okay. All right. Which of the air... I've got to look this up again. This is AYJO. How is the dating scene in California? I don't know. Yeah, this isn't the one I wanted to go. That's fine. What are we actually looking for here? There's AZ. It's up here somewhere. So which one? This is WT and TI. Those aren't the ones I'm looking for. Hold on, I just gotta see where my airport I'm looking for is. AZ. So we took off from down here. We went up here. But I think we were... Oh, yeah, over here. So it's west of us. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how the dating scene... I think we can take off from here. Let's find out. Let's get rid of this here. Boy, my nothing is working. Oh, okay, I'm on the wrong screen. That's why. All right, is my plane running? It is. Can I go up the hill here? We're going to go up this hill. We're going to need full power to get up here. And we're going to come down. Yeah, California has ups and downs, but it is, it does have good weather. And there's a lot of nice people in California. And, people are pretty cool and mellow. All right, we're going to take off and we're going to fly west. And there's going to be an actual interesting airport. And this isn't one of them. So I was saying there's a headline here, a sub-headline. It just gives you the answer. That's the one that was my third bullshit set off. In addition to making its own hardware, which is weird, Microsoft is a software company. And they always were very against making hardware when I was there. It's partnered with Continuum and Atom Computing. Oh, that's the name of that bullshit chip, the Atom chip. That was years ago that they came out with. It had these weird... Anyway, let me scroll down a bit. These type of machines offer important opportunities to anyway, so, okay, let's take off from here. Let's see. Actually, that's fine. Full power. All right, we're just going to, fling ourselves over this cliff here. It'll be fine. And then we're going to head west. See an actual interesting bush airport here. Let's see, which way is west here? It's going to be kind of through this canyon here. It's pretty, though. I do love these bush flying. And that's a challenging little strip to get out. It's probably more challenging than the one we're flying to. Yeah. So Twitter. I was reading my Twitter before coming here, and yeah, Elon reposted it. He reposted the stat. Yeah, the. Oh, did you hear about we're going to run out of oxygen soon in just 10,000 years if things don't go well? Just 10,000 years, the planet will be free of oxygen in the atmosphere. Ah, jeez. All right, I got full power going, and we're going to leave it that way. These mountains are pretty high. I mean, we're 6,700 feet up, and we're not really flying over these mountains, that's for sure. Yeah, you know. But I keep hearing things like it's a city, it's an asteroid that can destroy a city. Hey, there's plenty of cities left, you know. If it only destroys one city, is that really a problem? I mean, for that city, it is. Okay, so rethinking quantum computing at scale, blah, blah, blah. Qubits are finicky and highly susceptible to perturbations and errors, which is kind of saying, like, we apologize if it's not as... Uh-oh. Let's see. Full speed. I'm at 6,900 feet. Actually, I heard that the hole in the ozone layer is smaller than it used to be, but nobody knows why. It's one of these natural things, you know. See if I can just trim this to 0 here, but I don't know if I can. That'll make it a little easier. Okay. To avoid stalling out by not concentrating. Okay. You want to head west, but notice this giant mountain in front of us. What did you notice about the asteroid thing? So yeah, this article's there. Elon Musk reposted it. And he said, "Wow, this is amazing." So I responded to Elon. As you know, I've always told you never respond to an Elon Musk tweet ever. So I did it the second time today, and I said, you know, they should be giving this device to independent researchers to see if these incredible groundbreaking claims are true, and we deserve this since it's a DARPA, i.e., government or our tax dollars funded project. I don't know if the whole thing was funded by DARPA. I suspect it wasn't, but still, if any of it was funded by DARPA, then yeah, we should be able to see it. I don't know if we'll make it over this thing. It's so blank. Yeah, I heard that we eliminated chlorofluorocarbons as an aerosol source, and that really, they claimed that was going to help the ozone layer, and it may have. Is that the moon up there? All right, I don't know if we're going to make it to this airport. It's not that much higher than this, but we have to get over this ridge here. I think it's kind of dead ahead. We'll get there when we get there. Acid rain, all those things are, you know, it's man-caused, but, you know, if man, you know, man's not going to be here forever. All right, how close are we to kind of getting somewhere? Okay, I don't want to see that little details, or so where? Okay, yes. We are absolutely flying directly towards where I want to go. Will we be able to get over the ridge? That I don't know. But we're going to try. We're going to try. I may have to, like, reduce my fuel load so it'll be lighter. I'm basically at the limit of trim here. That's another night, and due in 2032. But I also read another article that said that it's going to hit the moon. They don't know. And, you know, the moon is a very, very effective method that Earth has of keeping smaller asteroids away from it. I think we're going to have to go around this way. It'll be a little longer. Let's try this path here. Well, yeah, we're at 8,700 feet. That is the limit of this plane. Well, another ice age is coming soon. In a mere 500 years, which the ice ages are super regular. They're believed to be based on solar processes that occur every 10,000 years. But you can look at ice cores from the Antarctica. They're super reliably, and many, many different scientists have confirmed this particular idea, which is that every 10,000 years there's been an ice age that's for millions of years at least, if not hundreds of million years. And that's a lot of ice ages. And yeah, the last one was 9,500 years ago, and they come every 10,000 years. It's inevitable there'll be another ice age, but we may not be around to see it. It may not, you know. Also, ice ages don't occur overnight. They just start happening, and then it takes a couple thousand years for them to maximize. Yeah, that's the other thing. 500 years to start the ice age, but it may not. But it takes 2,000 years for it to really get bad, and for all the glaciers to come back. As we mentioned, every time there's an ice age, most of North America and almost all of Europe is covered in glaciers. And but they don't instantly appear overnight. Even in a few hundred years, it takes them a couple thousand years to grow back to where they all are in an ice age, and then they're there for like 7,000 years. And then the ice age is over. No, they're not. It's not that long. Ice ages aren't that long. They're so a few hundred. Ice ages are a couple thousand years, I think. I don't know how long they last actually, compared to the 10,000 year interval. Good. That's a good question. Anyway, we got another 5-10 minutes before we get to AYOP, which is I think the airport which we actually will be able to fly over. But I think I can get up. We're at 9,000 feet. We're well over the design limit, I believe, of this plane. I think this was a mistake to try to fly over this ridge here. I wonder if that's the lowest part there. Let's see. This is probably the highest part, I hope. You think the asteroid is going to hit? Anyway, the point is the moon circles around us, right? Relatively quickly compared to the movement of the asteroid. But it also acts as like it's not magnetic, but it's got its own gravity. And, it depends how lucky you are. Yeah, the moon could be on the other side of the planet, but if it's not, if it's on the right side of the planet, which at least 50% chance it is, turns out it's more, it'll hit the moon before it hits us. All right, see you off in the distance. We can start giving our engine a little break here. Yeah, this was this ridge we had to pass over. I mean, it doesn't look that impressive, but this is like is over 10,000 feet. So these are some big-ass mountains. And this little plane is huffing and puffing. We got plenty of gas. The engine is working fine. But yeah, we don't want to... At this point, it's all downhill from here. We're going to this other bush one. Oh, it's only 5 miles away. We're almost there. So rethinking quantum computing scale, blah, blah, blah. And they're talking about the history. Then there's this more Majorana one explained, the path to 1,000,000 qubits. And this nice lady is showing a chip that's got all these little things on it. Until recently, the exotic particles Microsoft sought to use, called Majoranas, had never been seen or made. They didn't exist. They don't exist in nature and can only be coaxed into existence with magnetic fields and superconductors. Again, the research I read about Majoranas particles is they cannot carry an electric charge, thus cannot be influenced by magnetic fields or superconductors. Sorry, science. I mean, I'm not talking to my viewer science. I'm talking to the concept of science. Okay, and here's where your bullshit detector kind of goes off. Read this sentence. The difficulty of developing the right materials, again, which don't exist in nature, never have, to create the exotic particles and their associated topological state of matter. Again, topological state is a mathematical term. Is why most quantum efforts have focused on other kinds of qubits. In other words, everybody felt this was maybe a scam, so they wanted to do the least scammy one, I guess. Okay, so this is a pretty low. I don't want to overspeed here now. All right, we're gonna land here. It's gonna be fun. So this is a paper in Nature. It's a peer-reviewed confirmation that Microsoft has not only been able to create Majorana particles, which help protect quantum information from random disturbance, but also can reliably measure that information from them using microwaves, which is electromagnetic radiation. Majoranas hide quantum information, making it more robust, but also harder to measure. Microsoft Teams' new measurement approach is so precise, it can detect the difference between 1 billion and 1,000,000,001 electrons in a superconducting wire, which tells the computer what state the qubit is in and forms the basis for quantum computation. Okay, so this is all good stuff. I mean, that could be real. This could be real. I mean, it could be real. It says it was peer-reviewed in Nature magazine. Now, the only problem with that is that Nature magazine has been known to be bad at peer-reviewing science, and they've previously peer-reviewed papers about room temperature superconductors and other things that ended up being bullshit. So just because it's peer-reviewed in Nature doesn't mean it's real. It means it's a serious effort to look real. It's beyond just trying to some guy trying to scam investors with basically a perpetual motion machine or some way of generating information. Yeah, that room temperature thing was on. So it was peer reviewed in Nature. So anyway, Microsoft's topological qubit architecture has aluminum nanowires joined together to form an H. Each H has 4 controllable majoranas and makes one qubit. I hope those 4 particles don't come together, because if any 2 of them do, they will annihilate each other and probably blow you to smithereens. Sounds kind of like a dangerous little piece of equipment, actually. These H's can be connected to and laid out across the chips like so many tiles. Again, it's complex that we had to show a new state of matter to get there. But after that, it's fairly simple. It tiles out. You have this much simpler architecture that promises a much more faster path to scale. It says Krista Svore, a Microsoft technical fellow. Everybody talking about here is either Satya Nadella, who doesn't know anything, or a Microsoft technical fellow. I don't know what a technical fellow is, but that person, I believe, is female. Anyway, photos. The quantum chip doesn't work alone. It functions in an ecosystem with control logic. Again, they're throwing buzzwords, inappropriate buzzwords around like no tomorrow. All right, we're landing here. I don't want to hear 2 things about it. This looks like it'll be fun. We're landing here. We're going to check out the snack bar. Yeah, so I believe this could easily be just as much nonsense as the room temperature superconductor. It also involves superconductors, but I don't know if the real superconductors are just room temperature ones. Plenty of ground here at Waitapi. This is, again, I downloaded from flightsim.to. Let's go back to a little town here. There's a little fence here. Fenced in area. Can't be too big. You're going to run over the fence here. That's fine. It's plenty big. I don't think we've been here to this particular one before either. Beautiful. I think there's some buildings to check out. Hello? I think we're going uphill a little bit here. Okay, we don't need this anymore. All right, full power. Again, this engine is not super powerful, and the ducted fan approach is not super efficient, but it'll get you there. You think it's false? Apparently, this quantum computing that uses magical chips, magical particles that have never been seen before in nature, and only before have been mathematically, surmised, can solve society's problems. And Nature has peer-reviewed that, so it's got to be true. You know what I mean? It seems like such bullshit, but I mean, hey, if it's true, I say everyone involved, and I hope there's a lot of people involved, should get big Nobel prizes, big-time Nobel prizes, because it's a new state of matter that's only been theorized before. These particles that will where a particle will annihilate itself, so they can't get within any near of each other. So you have to deal with them one particle at a time, and topological, what do they call it? Topological state, which is a meaningless term. Let's get out of this plane here. Actually, can we do this? Yeah, we can do this. All right, let's check out this. Again, I downloaded, and it's got some, these are just stock items, so you can see that person's supposed to be sitting on something. We got some cows, we got some chickens, we got a bicycle, we got some people. We got a lot of those, what do you call those bright flowers? Anyway, gladioli, I don't know, chrysanthemums. Oh, there's a bunch of people hanging out here. Maybe some tourists, backpackers, hostels. Got some places to relax. Definitely, there's a snack bar out here. I do like it. What's over on this side? This is like just people living here. You got your rusty shack and more animals. I just like it. It's a vibe. Yeah, so it'd be amazing. Either way, it's amazing. It's amazing if it's real, and if it's fake, we taxpayers got ripped off yet again. With a scientific bugle, which nobody will go to jail for. You know what I mean? Ultimately, Satya Nadella, the president of Microsoft, is not going to go to jail for it. I don't know. I'm sure he believes it's all real. Ironically, okay, we are literally spraying atom by atom. These materials have to line up perfectly. If there are too many defects in the material stack, it just kills your qubit, Svor said. Oof. Ironically, it's why we need a quantum computer, because understanding these materials is incredibly hard. With a scaled quantum computer, we will be able to predict materials with even better properties for building the next generation of quantum computers beyond scale. Oh my, unpack that one. That's the end of it, by the way, thank God. So yeah, so we don't even understand these anomalous materials that we're creating here. But fortunately, with the computers that we create with the anomalous materials, that we don't have to program, they just give you the answer. Will tell us more about future anomalous materials that will have even better properties for building the next generation of quantum computers. And theoretically, that generation, and pretty soon there'll be a new generation of quantum computers every 12th of a second. Anyway, all right, I'm moving on. I just had to go online because I saw this article and I was like, I got to talk about this with somebody. This is some crazy stuff. We've been talking for an hour and flying around. Okay, I'm doing a little bush flying here. Let me take a little screenshot here in this little plane here, which is still operating. It's fine. Can we open the door? We can, but I don't want to. Let's just take a picture here. It's a cool little thing. I mean, we'll do more bush flying in PNG here. Maybe not in this plane. This is actually too easy. I don't know. I don't know if we should be building more data centers or not. It doesn't matter to me. All I know is that, the thing that really stood out to me to make it smell is that they're taking who knows amount of DARPA money, of dark. We basically write you a blank check money from DARPA, which is us taxpayers. And, DARPA helped invent the original internet because they needed a network that would work for their military purposes, for digital communications for military purposes, and would be able to withstand nodes being nuked out, nodes being taken out militarily and route around them automatically. That was DARPA's request. DARPA has not done nothing for the world, that's for sure. So, I can't say that this it's really an interesting thing. It's either completely legitimate and unbelievably amazing, or total bullshit, and people should go to jail. Who probably aren't gonna. So, the thing about you should go look it up. Look at what a qubit is and what quantum computing really is. And you cannot program them in a typical way. They can be programmed, but not in a typical way. You sort of have to. They're sort of like the old age of analog computing, where you built the computer to solve a specific problem, basically. Although you could use dials and various voltages to change what you were asking for. But basically, it was a specific purpose to solve. And what they're basically claiming is these qubit computers are like, they're like that Douglas Adams computer, deep whatever, where you can just ask it a question and it will tell you the answer. That's what they're kind of claiming. It's that level of craziness. Anyway, they certainly don't say what specific problems they're trying to solve. The only specific problem they solved was at the end. This is why they say why we need a quantum computer is to understand these materials that we used to create the quantum computer, which has a logical fallacy built into it. If you didn't understand the materials in the first place, how did you build it in the first place? How are you supposed to make a computer that understands the materials made to need that computer if you didn't already understand how to make that computer out of the material? It's got multiple paradoxes built into it, and they don't seem to care. So anyway, I'm going to move on to the musical segment. Thanks for sticking with me. I don't know how much vibe out flying we did, but it is what it is. And I will stream more from 2020 presumably. Maybe we'll do more of this Papua New Guinea. We didn't hit the one of the three airports. Yeah, I'll be Friday. So if you want to see more Microsoft Flight Simulator content, the regular time on Friday. Things have definitely lightened up at work. Oh, by the way, if you're still here, yeah, I still have not heard if, when and if there is going to be bonuses paid to us this year. Well, if we don't get them in our next payday, which is a week from tomorrow. But we have not heard yet if we're supposed to be getting what, and we have always heard by now what our bonuses, what percentage they can fund our bonuses up to 100%. they can fund your bonus 90%. They can fund us, and for everybody, they can bonus your bonus 50%. Well, my bonus is 20% of my salary, so 100% would be 20% of my salary. It's a huge percent of what I get the year, and that's just typical. Bonuses are like they're supposed to be a big incentive, effectively. So if they fuck with our bonuses, it's not a good situation, and things might after next week, things might start. How can I put this? The pace of work might slow down to a literal crawl. We're gonna have to see, and not just me, but like everyone in the group. All right, I'm gonna do some music stuff. So that's gonna take me 3 minutes to drag my piano in. As you know, I'm gonna run my mid roll, and we're gonna get. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it done in time. It's gonna play the piano for half an hour or so. A passive, not aggressive, just passive, very passive behavior. Like, oh, that'll take 2 weeks to do, and then 3 weeks later, oh yeah, I'll get to that soon, kind of stuff, you know. I think I'm already seeing that with some of our coworkers at work who are, the other programmers at work have been there longer than I have. Some of these people have 20, 30 years of service, and they can kind of do what they want. You can ask them to get something done, and if they want to work at a slow pace or a fast pace, I think they can. And I think some of our other guys have already decided that until we get the bonuses, basically nothing's going to happen in terms of development of new software and new code and new initiatives. And I'm kind of down on that. I'm kind of behind that. So yeah, I'm kind of I shouldn't be talking about some of this stuff because who knows. So as far as you people know, I am diligently working very, very hard on all of my projects at all times that I'm not actually streaming for you, and that has nothing to do with whether I receive a bonus or not. Yeah, of course. But again, we have histories. We can look at our bonuses over the next. I've been here for 9 years. We get one every year. It hasn't varied that much. I mean, sometimes a bad year, I think, is 80%. A good year is 100%. So if it's much lower than our bad year, it's going to be a bad year for not just me, I think, but for a lot of people in our company. I say it would be unprecedented. Because they've never just kind of jerked us around on the bonuses before, so they don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they're hoping a lot of people will quit. That happens sometimes. Anyway, we're going to move on. I don't want to speculate too much. I will know more in 10 days after the actual bonuses get paid, because then we'll know one way or another. They have to pay them at the end of February by law, basically. All right. Mid-roll. I'll keep you. Hi, Milo. How you doing? Were you listening to any of that? I'm going to play some music. If you go stream, you can put me on in the background. I'm just going to do my piano thingy here. All right, but I'll be going for a while. I should be here for another hour. I just want to take a little break here. Oh, other fun news. Mistress Mord and Adri, her friend in South Africa, are hopefully going to be finishing up my promo reels that I asked them to produce, and they should be hopefully really funny and kind of interesting. And I'll be running them during these mid rolls and kind of as a little breaks and stuff like that. And I think if it's funny and good, they should make a business out of doing this for streamers, making reaction. It's basically going to be a reaction video where they looked in. Well, I was talking. Okay, well, I'll give you a quick recap here. Besides the flying around, let me get out of this here. We're doing this science segment because there's a really huge science story in the news relating to this quantum computing thing. And as soon as I read it, I was like, this is interesting stuff that I want to talk about in my stream. And you can look it up. It's called Microsoft's Majorana 1 chip carves a new path for quantum computing. And there's an article on the Microsoft news site. And it was retweeted effectively by Elon Musk just like an hour ago. And I replied to that. It's got a lot of things that set off my bullshit detector. So we were discussing what specific things in this article set off my bullshit detector, and why the conclusion is either this is one of the most amazing scientific achievements in the last 30 years, easily. Everyone involved should get a Nobel Prize in physics instantly, and I mean quick. I mean now. Or it's a huge pile of bullshit that's been funded by the American taxpayer via the DARPA, via the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, which has been funding these guys, and it's probably for a long time now. It's probably like, well, it's time to make something that works. But what I don't know is independent researchers have been able to get a hand on this magical chip that creates this new state of matter, these new particles, these Majorana particles. By the way, I looked up Majorana particles. It does not say anywhere in this article that Majorana particles and that the defining characteristics of Majorana particles is that they they annihilate each other. They don't require an antiparticle like fermions. By the way, fermion is electron, a proton, any of the normal particles. So if you want to annihilate an electron, you need an anti-electron. You put an electron and an anti-electron together, and they annihilate each other. You get nothing but energy. E equals mc squared. That much energy. Okay. These other particles, which are just mathematically theorized, these Majorana particles, Majorana, named after an Italian physicist apparently, annihilate each other. That's mathematically how they work. So if you take one of them and another one, and you put them together, they annihilate each other. You get nothing but energy. It really, so that's why they can't exist in nature, because eventually two of them are going to find each other and annihilate each other. By the way, it gets into a whole nother discussion of why scientists have figured out why there is more normal matter than antimatter in the universe. If there was an equal amount of antimatter and normal matter created at the beginning of the universe, there'd be nothing left by now. We'd have turned into pure energy. But there's quite a bit more matter than antimatter. It's called the matter-antimatter asymmetry. But you can look that up. That's a real thing. I don't think this quantum computing thing is real. So we were discussing that. Anyway, I'm going to switch over to the music category. We had a nice flight too, although I was real distracted. So we're going to I'm going to get my piano in here and play the piano for a while. Let me run my little mid-roll. But I hope you can stick around. And again, it's on thing, but just do a search on Majorana, Majorana, and you'll find it. It's just very today. I saw it. I was using like Majora's Mask. I thought it was like some video game reference. I never have seen Majorana, Majorana, in my life. And there was a whole bunch of stuff in this article I've never heard of, particularly a topological semiconductor. Topological is, it's mathematical. It's a mathematical construct. It's not a real thing. All right, let me run my mid-roll. I don't want to play the piano. Oh, I just set my camera. All right, let me get my camera set up. Was something I'm just like, what did I do this time? Oh, I also didn't go into the music category. I'm lazy. But I will. Hold on a second here. Let's first do that. That's where I like that, boy. And my third camera. And then we're just going to put ourselves into music. No, it didn't take. It's normal. There we go. Music category. Check 1, check 2. All right, piano. Does the piano work? Let's find out. Okay, not quite what I like. Let's go like down there. There we go. There we go. Warm up a little bit here. Welcome to Ken's Lounge. What do we got here? We got some Diet Coke. It's got a little bit more for myself here. That's pretty much it. I got my list of songs here. Here we go. Say little, little songs. Look at the wrong key. Say it, songs. Doesn't matter. Basically, I just look at a song. I'm not looking at the notes or the lyrics or anything like that. I just got to play it. That's what being a lounge piano is. You got to be able to sit down and play. So, for example, it says say a little prayer there. Let's just sit yourself down, grab yourself your own beverage, Diet Coke if you like, whatever you like. I'm going to be playing another 34 minutes of these, 40 minutes or so of these classic standard songs. Such as, I don't know, this isn't a standard, but... close. And yeah. That's it. Too far gone. It's Too Far Gone by Todd Rundgren, sorry. This is called Cliche by Todd Rundgren. Alrighty, you played a couple of James Taylor songs, but we'll do go right to Girl from Ipanema. No thanks. Okay. What do I want to do now? Who knows? Oh yeah, we're gonna do this Stevie Wonder tune here. That's about enough of that song. Almost, I love playing that song. Okay, let's do some lounge versions of Steely Dan songs. Why not? Why? Why not? Alrighty. Yeah, make a few mistakes every now and then. It's not against the law. Gosh, got some more songs I gotta play, like Up, Up, and Away. Still haven't played it. Secret Agent Man, haven't played it, but do have to get back to work. So, work. Gotta get back to work. Anyway, Up, Up, and Away. All right, last song. Actually, did I do this one? Wait, I gotta do that. I almost got it. That's my practice thing. That's it. Now I remember. Thanks for coming by Ken's Lounge. As always, if you enjoyed the show today, I only ask one thing, and that's that you sidle up to the bar. That you order yourself a fancy cocktail, not a well drink, like a fancy cocktail, like a margarita or something. Not for me. I'm fine. I got my Diet Coke. For you, okay? And that most importantly, you tip extremely generously to the wait staff, because I think they have on average like 7 kids now. It's a lot of mouths to feed. All right, I gotta go. I had such a good time. You won't believe this. I had such a good time doing the show today that I do almost every single time the same time. I'm going to do it again on Friday. It'll be very similar in that they'll be flying around for about an hour and maybe talking about stupid science stupid news in the stupid news. There'll be a short break, and then I'm going to play my guitar. Probably not this one, because I like to kind of rotate them in and out. But yeah, have a lovely rest of your Wednesday. I can't believe it's only Wednesday. There's still Thursday, 2 more days to the weekend, and we are at the weekend already, sort of. I guess we're most of the way to the weekend. In the meantime, hey, is there anybody for me to raid? For example, anybody to raid? I wonder if she lets people raid her. I've never tried raiding her before. Well, let's find out. Okay, so again, thanks again. I'm going to do my little outro, and we'll see you guys next time.